going, Just Fish fan? So the other day I was at the lake and I was using my jack plate, which I use all the time, and got it all the way up and got ready to put it back down, and it wouldn't go down. But the motor kept going. I could hear it, and I could hear some clicking, but it wasn't doing nothing. So today I'm troubleshooting that, and I'll show you what I got so far. So I basically got this blinker kit on here, right? So Pro Trim. So this is my trim, and this is my jack plate. You notice it goes up, but doesn't do anything going down. And you can hear it clicking back there. So what I initially tried to do is I pulled off the housing up here in the front and tried to reverse the wires, but that doesn't actually work, because I just needed to go down so I get on the water. But what I quickly realized is there's actually a relay back there in the back. So I think the relay went bad. So I'll give you some more details and specs on that relay, but I'll show you guys how to replace that, because I did actually get some parts for that. And I got a pretty good deal on the parts too. So if it works, this might be good for you, because I looked at the one that comes from the manufacturer, and it was like over 200 bucks. So anyway, let's get into it. So I have a Ranger Z185, and I'm gonna show you where that relay is on this. So it might be in a different place depending upon your rig. So where this relay was mounted is up underneath here, right up under here. And so basically, it has two wires that comes out right here. This green and blue wire, and that goes out through the back and down here. It's the same wire. It runs into right here. This is my motor for that, the hydraulic motor. So that's that. So there's two wires there. But the relay has four wires coming out of it, and it's like a little terminal. Once I pull it out, I'll show it to you. And then there's another 2 or 3 lines that run all the way up to the front, to there, to that toggle. So this is the replacement I got. All right, so you got a positive and a negative. So this more than likely is going to hook up under here. And this will probably go to the battery. So, all right, so this will hook up underneath here. And then the relay, that trigger will mount up underneath there. And then these 3 wires, that's what runs up to the front. So we'll probably splice that and splice these in. And then these are the 2 that will connect to those 2 wires down there. So let me cut the power off here. Take the terminals off the battery so I don't burn something out, and I'll pull this off to see where that positive wire connects to, figure out where they actually have the ground, if it's on the battery or somewhere else, and then yeah, I'll show you what we got. So for the main terminal, this guy, right, that's a 9/16, and so it's the same on the positive side, and then this is standard 1/2 inch, right, for these. So you'll need a 9/16 and a 1/2 inch wrench. So that's the first thing. Let's make sure we have those. So basically, got the hot wire off, and got the power cutoff switch. I took that down so I can kind of see what's going on. And underneath here, that hot wire that comes out, they actually have it going into a breaker right here. So that's where the hot's going. So yours might be different. It might be going straight to their battery post, because there's a fuse on that line. So I don't know if you can see it. So there's a fuse on there already, but I guess for redundancy, someone when they rigged it, they actually put it on there. So let's get that guy loose first. All right, so I got the old one out of there finally. So basically, so the 2 wires that go back to the jack plate, they actually unplug, which is nice. You can just plug the other ones back in. The negative was run to the battery. And then the positive, however, which I was kind of disappointed, instead of putting a terminal on the end, they ran it to the same terminal as my power poles. So I ended up having to cut that. So I wish they would have rigged that on a separate one because my other power pole has its own. So thank God the new one does come with the terminal already on it, all right? Which that's how they should have done it. So what I'm gonna have to do is put some shrink wrap or something on here from where I cut that off. Yeah, it's not a big deal, but the other thing is I'm looking in there, just kind of seeing how they got the wire all crisscross and stuff, and I got some wire that runs up to the front of the boat, and they got one jack power pole wire wrapping around the other one, which they should have just kept that stuff separate. Would have been a little cleaner install, but I'm not gonna complain too much. I just need to get this thing back on the water. So yeah, so basically it's out of there. So basically what they did, that hot wire ran to another breaker up under here. So there's a breaker up under there. So that's where the hot was connected. So there's another fuse on that. There's some redundancy going on there, which is good. And then the ground actually went all the way down to the post, which was right here. So pretty straightforward there. Yeah, so let's get this new one in and see what's up. And before I forget, the harness that runs up to the blinker up in the front, I end up having to cut that. So you can see I cut that there. Yeah, so I basically, I don't know if you can see that. I just cut that off from there. The good thing is I don't have to buy any connectors, right? Because this kit comes with the connectors already on there, so you can connect right into them. So it's just 3 wires. There's a blue, green, and I'm assuming the purple is like ground. So the way that kind of works is green is for grass, so that's to go down. Blue is sky, so that goes up, right? So you just need to connect those back to the way they were. So inside here, once I strip that out, you'll see there's a blue, green, and that purple color. So it should be pretty straightforward. All right, that joker's in there. Now to get the wiring. All right, so now basically got that capped off of the other. This was from my power pole. So this is the negative. So I'm gonna just take this and run the wire back down through there. That's gonna hook up to my negative terminal. And then there's similar to this one. There's one on that relay that will then go to that circuit breaker. So let's get that hooked up, and then we'll work on the blinker switch. All right, so that's the blinkers. So I ran the hot wire to the circuit, negatives on the battery post. This goes to the blinker, and then the 2 wires that just jack into the back here to the pump itself. So, and those are color coded, and they already have a little connector. Yeah, so now it's just tidying up a little bit, and we'll throw on some power and let's see what happens. All right, moment of truth. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Let me switch this camera around. All right, let's see what happens. That's up. She's going down. Nice. Well, looks like we might be back in operation. Well, I hope this helps y'all. I'll before I close out, I'll get the information about the part itself, where you can get it, because if you go to TH Marine, it's like $200. I'll get the price. It was way cheaper. I actually found it on Amazon, so I'll make sure to put that in the description so that anyone else that has this issue, man, you ain't got to pay that ridiculous price for this, because I really hate that this is not a switch or some other kind of, I don't know, anything, man. Because the only thing that does is reverse polarity, right? So I don't see why I have to pay $200 for a whole harness. I could just pop out and put a different relay in. You got to buy the whole harness. So anyway, till next time, guys, if you have any questions, man, just leave comments, and I'll be sure to answer you guys. Peace.